Good morning. I am Professor S.R. Patel, Production Engineering Department, Lakhdiri Engineering College, Morbi. In last lecture, we have discussed about the introduction of the fluid mechanics. In this topic, today, we will discuss about the fluid statics. So in last lecture, we have discussed about the gas, liquids, fluid mechanics, statics, dynamics. It is shown in the picture. Now in this lecture we will discuss about the pressure. So what is pressure? So pressure is defined as a normal force exerted by fluid per unit area. Pressure is defined as a normal force exerted by fluid per unit area. So we can measure it in a Newton per meter square, that is called the Pascal. So 1 Pascal is equal to 1 Pa is equal to 1 Newton per meter square. So sometimes some kilopascals or megapascals, they are also used. So 1 kilopascal is equal to 10 raised to 3 Pascal and 1 megapascal is equal to 10 raised to 6 Pascal. The more familiar word is bar. So 1 bar is equal to 10 raised to 5 Pascal, and the atmospheric pressure, that is ATM, it is also shown. So actual pressure at a given point or actual pressure at a given position is called the absolute pressure. So it is measured relative to the absolute vacuum, that is absolute zero pressure. And in most of the pressure measuring devices, they are calibrated, and that is called the gauge pressure. So this difference is called the gauge pressure. So the pressure below atmospheric pressure, that is called the vacuum pressure. So absolute, gauge and vacuum pressures are all positive quantities, and they are related to each other by the following equation. So P gauge is equal to P absolute minus P atmosphere, and P vac, that is vacuum pressure, is equal to atmospheric pressure minus absolute pressure. So in the picture we can see here it is absolute pressure, absolute vacuum. Above this it is the atmospheric pressure, and above atmospheric pressure it is the gauge pressure. Below atmospheric pressure it is the vacuum pressure. So it is cleared in the picture. So pressure at a point. The pressure is a compressive force per unit area, and it gives the impression of being a vector. Now, however, pressure at any point in the fluid, that is the same in all directions. Pressure at any point in a fluid is the same in all directions. So it has a magnitude but not a specified direction, and thus it is a scalar quantity. This can be demonstrated by a wedge-shaped fluid element. Here it is shown. Here it is a wedge-shaped element. Here it is a z-axis, x-axis and y-axis. So for simplicity, the forces in the x direction are not shown, and the z-axis is taken as the vertical axis. So weight acts in the negative z direction. Now from the figure, the pressure at a point, for Newton's second law, force balance in y and z direction, it gives in equation A. So that is sigma Fy is equal to Py dx dz minus Ps dx ds sine theta, that is equal to 0. that we can see here, Fy. Sigma Fz, that is Pz dx dy minus Ps dx ds cos theta minus gamma dx dy dz by 2 is equal to 0. That is equation B, where Ps, Py and Pz, they are the average pressures on the faces, and gamma and rho, they are the fluid specific weight and density here. So from the geometry we can say dy is equal to delta y is equal to delta s cos theta and delta z is equal to delta s sin theta. And the fluid element shrinks to a point. So thus substituting and simplifying the results, Py is equal to Ps, Pz is equal to Ps, or Py is equal to Ps is equal to Pz. Thus we conclude that pressure at a point in a fluid has the same magnitude in all directions. This important result is called the Pascal's law. So what is Pascal's law? The pressure at a point in a fluid has the same magnitude in all directions. Now we will discuss how to measure the pressure. So the pressure can be measured with the help of a manometer. So the elevation change of delta Z in a fluid at rest corresponds to delta P divided by rho G, which suggests that the fluid column can be used to measure the pressure differences. The device which is based on this principle is called the manometer. There are different types of manometers. It may be of glass, it may be of plastic. The fluids which are used normally, it's mercury, water, alcohol, oil, etc. To keep the size of the manometer to a manageable level, to heavy fluids such as mercury, they are used if large pressure differences are to be anticipated. To measure the large pressure difference, mercury is advisable. Now, U-tube manometer. So in the picture you can see it is measuring the U-tube. U-tube is here, the shape is like a U. Here it's a gas, here it is a height h. So consider this manometer. Here pressure in the fluid, it does not vary in the horizontal direction within a fluid, and pressure at 1 and 2. These 2 points pressure has the same value. So P2 is equal to P1. So what is P2? Atmospheric pressure is here plus height, this rho G H. So thus we can measure the pressure with the help of this manometer. So this pressure at P2 is equal to atmospheric pressure plus rho G H. Now example. Now you start writing and solve these examples. Example 1. A manometer is used to measure the pressure in a tank. The fluid used has a specific gravity of 0.85 and the manometer column height is 55 cm as shown in the figure. If the local atmospheric pressure is 96 kPa, determine the absolute pressure within the tank. So we have to find out the absolute pressure within the tank. Height is given 55 cm, atmospheric pressure is 96 kPa and specific gravity of the fluid is 0.85. So with the help of the equations which we have derived, you can use it here directly. Pressure is equal to atmospheric pressure plus rho G H. And you substitute all the values you will get the answer, that is 100.6 kPa. So gauge pressure in the tank is 4.6 kPa. Differential manometer. In earlier we have seen a single U-tube manometer. Now it is a differential manometer. It measures the difference between this fluid. The fluid may be different. So in differential manometers, similar way, we have to identify the pressure, we have to measure the pressure at P1 and P2 whenever it is required, and we have to compare it with the help of equation. So the pressure difference between this, we can get it. Now this is the example. Similarly, you can solve this example. It has a different fluids, oil and mercury. So you have to take individual density of the fluids. So here we have taken individual densities of the fluids, and the final solving this equation, P1 is equal to atmospheric pressure minus rho of water GH1 minus rho of oil GH2 plus rho of mercury in GH3. Then final answer is 130 kPa. Now I am giving you the exercise to solve this problem in your own way. As we have discussed the methods, you can solve the problems. The gauge pressure of the air in the tank is shown in the figure below, is measured to be 65 kPa. Determine the differential height h of the mercury column. So figure is given, 65 kPa is the pressure, here height is 30 centimeter, here it's h, and the height of the oil, it is 75 centimeter. Oil specific gravity is 0.72 and specific gravity of the mercury is 13.6. So you solve this example in your own way. Answer is written here. Next exercise. Fresh water and seawater flowing in parallel horizontal pipelines, they are connected to each other by double U-tube manometer as shown in the figure. Determine the pressure difference between the two pipelines. Take the density of seawater at that location to be rho is equal to 1035 kg per meter cube. Can the air column be ignored in the analysis? The answer is 3.39 kPa. Figure is given, dimensions are given, method is shown in the lecture. You can get the answer definitely. If you find any difficulty, you can phone me. Answer is 3.39 kPa. One more example. Two water tanks are connected to each other through a mercury manometer with inclined tubes as shown in the figure. If the pressure difference between the two tanks is 20 kPa, calculate A and theta. Picture is shown here, water A, this is water B, here it's inclined, theta is also given, mercury Sg is 13.6 and distances are given. So you will get the answer. If you find any difficulty, you can phone me personally. Thank you very much.